Well, I'm excited to interview you briefly here on the desert. I thought it'd be fun to share some of your experiences in the desert. So I think there was another time, too, that you found someone that had driven off one of the Jebels.
Yeah, word Jebel just meant an escarpment, a cliff. And there were lots of those in the Sahara. This wasn't real tall, maybe 100, 120 feet tall. We'd ordered some equipment from another drilling site, and they were supposed to bring it on a truck. It was going to be delivered at such and such a time in the evening. The truck didn't show up. We needed it. We couldn't do our work without it. We were under a time constraint. And then a couple more hours went by, and I radioed the drilling camp where it was supposed to be coming from. They said, well, the guy left on time. He should have been there 2 hours ago. And nobody was there. Nobody came with the equipment. And so I talked to another engineer, and he said, we better go looking. Something's wrong. This guy should have been here. So we did, and we found tire tracks in kind of rocky sand scrabble. And you could tell from the sand tracks in this rocky scrabble sand stuff that the vehicle was going fast. You could just tell. If it's going slow, you see the tread marks. Are going fast, you don't see them as well. And so we just followed him. I thought, well, maybe this is the guy. It was heading directly to where we'd come from. And so we followed him, and all of a sudden we came right to the lip of this jebel. We were right on the edge of, we didn't go over, of course, but we could look down, and it was getting kind of dark. It was a scary sight. I could see a vehicle down below that cliff. And the strange thing was a guy. He got out of the vehicle and he was stumbling around. He knew we were up there. He could see our lights, I guess. And so we had to turn to the left and go along the face of the escarpment for a couple of miles before we could get down to his level. By the time we got down to his level, the guy is standing by his vehicle, and it was absolutely strange. It looked like he was the headless horseman. You could see his shoulders and the rest of his body. You saw his arm. He was leaning against his vehicle. There wasn't any head on top of his shoulders. And it was just frightening to think that this guy didn't have a head. Well, of course, he did have a head. But when we got down there, he passed out. The truck had fallen some almost 100 feet and landed on the face of a dune. So instead of hitting right smack dab on level ground, he hit on the side of it. Damaged the truck. He was really messed up. He had a broken neck, in fact. And the reason we couldn't see his head was that he was all slumped over. And we put him in the sleeper of our truck, took him back to the drilling camp, and they got a plane out there and took him in. And I don't think I never did hear what happened to him, but he never returned to the desert. I'm sure they sent him home. Yeah, a lot of stuff out there.